ahead, and you may recall it was a 40-32 win by the Raiders. Afterwards, their team buses circled the stadium in what many called a victory lap, so only 4 more days until this rematch.
If you're not ready to go in this game, I'm playing a divisional opponent, playing against a good football team, you know, so I mean a lot going towards the AFC West standings, then you're not in the right sport. So, I mean, for me, it's just as important as any other game in the division, no matter if they took the victory lap or not.
When you play the Chiefs, you know you're going to get one hell of an opponent in all 3 phases. And if you're not ready to go, you'll get your block knocked off. We know that.
I don't need anything added. I've had people say crazier things about me than driving a bus around a stadium, and you still just show up and play the game. You know what I mean? So if they want to get excited about it, awesome. They can get excited about it, man. I'm just going to keep doing my process and play football.
NFL analyst Marcus Spears with me live now on SportsCenter. I mean, Mahomes said it, Marcus. He called it a victory lap, right? Obviously providing some bulletin board material for the Raiders. I mean, whatever it takes. But Marcus, what do you think? Will this be a lot different from the Week 5 game?
Sage, I wanted Carr to go off. All right, listen, I'm here for the beef. I wanted Derek Carr to go off. But anyway, to your question, listen, I don't expect it to go the same way. This Kansas City Chiefs defense was thrown on like no tomorrow. Aguilar over the top, Henry Ruggs over the top, Waller worked the middle. The explosive plays is why the Raiders won the game. Now, you say to yourself, Steve Spagnuolo, a large sample size, this defense for the Kansas City Chiefs has been playing better outside of the Carolina game, but that was some different varying circumstances. I don't expect the Raiders to beat the Chiefs, number one, and I don't expect the Chiefs defensively to give up the explosive plays that they gave up in the first meeting. And look, the only way you beat Kansas City, obviously, is putting up those type of numbers on the board. So the fact that Spagnuolo and this defense is going to defend against that, as opposed to trying to do something different or reinvent the wheel, tells me all I need to know about what this game is going to turn out to be. It's going to be a Patrick Mahomes one shining moment type situation.
Ooh, okay, you're calling it out then. All right, well, it is Chiefs-Raiders, one of 5 games between teams that are 6-3 or better. So we got to keep an eye on all of these. Starting with tomorrow's matchup, Cardinals and Seahawks. So, Marcus, what do you want to see from Russell Wilson and the Seahawks on another short week?
And then we've got Vegas Raiders against Kansas City. Neek, what does Derek Carr need to show you?
Nothing really, more of the same. I think the version of Derek Carr that we've seen this year is the best version of him. He's been responsible with the ball, which he always is, but he's been more willing to take big shots downfield, and Henry Ruggs is a problem. He scares defenses, and it makes it so much easier for that running attack and all the receivers. So just keep doing what you're doing, Carr, and the Raiders are one of the underrated teams in the league right now.
Absolutely, and they could try and sweep the season series from Kansas City. But as I bring Shefty into the conversation...
let's not go too far.
They could do it. Well, let's see if they could do it. They beat them once before. And Shefty, obviously, we want to talk about Derek Carr, and we want to talk about Henry Ruggs, and we want to talk about the long-standing rivalry between Andy Reid and John Gruden. But, of course, COVID is a significant part of the storyline in 2020, and for the Raiders, it's a big deal. What is the latest there right now?
11 Raiders on the reserve COVID-19 list right now. And again, this is part of the reason, Greeny, that the NFL has enacted 16-man practice squads this year so that teams can reach onto their practice squads and pull up players in the event they're needed, because there is a situation like there is with the Las Vegas Raiders right now. Again, you've got 11 players on that list. There were 7 players added to the list yesterday. But right now, the league says there is no change to the status of Sunday night's game. Remember, earlier this year, the NFL adjusted the schedule, moving a Sunday night game into the Sunday afternoon window, a Sunday afternoon game into the Sunday night window. League not even doing that right now. I think that they count on and expect the Raiders to be cleared in time to be able to play this game, but obviously until then, the precautions are being taken.
All right, and so I was reading yesterday about new precautions that the NFL is taking overall in light of the rising case numbers around the country. Fill in those details.
Well, essentially, the league, as of Saturday, will have every team in the intensive protocol program. And what that means, Greeny, is that all meetings now will be done virtually. Every person, player, coach will be required to wear a mask. There are certain provisions and protocols that now will need to be followed at all times. The NFL recognizes that with cases of coronavirus spiking in the country, that it has got to try to protect the players, the coaches, the league, the games. It's business. And so every team now, as of Saturday, will be entered into the intensive protocol training program.
Woj with the latest. But
go to ESPNplus.com/pay-per-view.
Kyler Murray is absolutely a beast of Russell Wilson's creation.
Gonna let it fly. Touchdown! The perfect pass. Is it caught?
He can run around, he can spin it, he can really throw it.
Oh my goodness, it's caught!
Just trying to be the best of me. It's my job to earn that right every day.
This is our world. This is our life. This is our moment.
We're gonna get to play against each other for many years, and it's gonna always be a lot of battles.
All right, a little football. Stephen A., you know this better than anyone. Sometimes Thursday night football matchups are a little suspect, but not this one. Yeah. This is real good. Kyler versus Russ, a three-way tie atop the NFC West. So here's what I want to ask you. In terms of a franchise quarterback, who would you rather have, Russell Wilson or Kyler Murray?
Well, I'm going to go with Russell Wilson. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. You know how big I am on resume. The other day we had a conversation about who's the most dangerous at this particular moment in time, and that was Kyler Murray. This is not that same question. You're talking about a franchise quarterback. Who would you rather have? And Russell Wilson is tried and proven. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's won a Super Bowl championship. If Pete Carroll didn't ask him and Darrell Bevel didn't ask him to throw that damn slant pattern to Tyler Lockett that got intercepted by Malcolm Butler, and instead of giving the ball a beast mode at the half-yard line, he'd have 2 rings instead of 1, and the Patriots would have 5 rings instead of 6. It's just that simple to me. When you look at his record right now, this man is 92-44-1 as a starting quarterback in the National Football League for the Seattle Seahawks. On many, many occasions, you know what, he was not that dude. In other words, it was the Legion of Boom, and the offense evolved around that and beast mode. And then Russell Wilson came into the fray and just showed you what he could bring to the table, so much so that the franchise was handed to him. The keys to the franchise were handed to him. This year, he's been unleashed. And even though he's struggled as of late, I would remind everybody he's still completing 69.8% of his passes. He still has 28 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. I mean, he hasn't been god-awful. The reality of the situation is that the vast majority of this season, he's been the leading MVP candidate until the last 2 weeks. So I look at what he brings to the table, and I'm of the mindset, Russell Wilson is special. I got mad respect and love for Kyler Murray, but you got to do it over a period of time. Russell Wilson has done that. We know how elite he is. I'm rolling with him.
Oh, every GM in football is like, why isn't Stephen A. a GM that I can negotiate against? Let me get this straight, Stephen A. You have 2 dudes. Russell Wilson's a little better than Kyler Murray right now. In fact, he's more dangerous, too. We were just arguing that. You were telling me Kyler Murray's more dangerous than Russ right now. But even the fact that someone could argue, and many people do, that he's more dangerous than Russell Wilson right now, even the fact that they are very similar, the questions even being asked, is Kyler Murray ahead of Russell Wilson in the MVP race? No, I don't think he is. I think Russ is still a little ahead of him. Not that that's 1 and 2 in the MVP race, but in terms of their rank there. Even the fact that we're asking that right now, in Kyler Murray's second year, Russell Wilson was not asked to do what Kyler Murray is being asked to do in terms of carrying the load of the team. Like the hopes and dreams, the winning is pinned on him. Russell had a better defense, obviously, than Kyler Murray early in his career. But even the fact that they're comparable already, and they are comparable, they're very comparable. Same height, more or less the same size, both really fast, both with good arms, both can pick up first downs with their legs, but often use their legs to extend plays, keep their eyes down the field. By the way, both were good enough at baseball on a college level to be drafted by Major League Baseball. They were both drafted. Kyler Murray, I'll mention, was drafted in the first round by, I think it was Billy Beane and the A's. Like, they know what they're looking at, and they know the analytics and all that stuff. They thought he was a first-round pick. But they both still want to play baseball.